Hello everyone, this is Dr. Charu Rawat and here's a new video on how to perform well at an interview. So let us first understand what an interview is. Because a lot of people think it is a kind of interrogation or a question answer session where the interviewer is there to grill and screw the interviewee. Now even a thought of interview because of this makes a person a nervous wreck. But it is actually a kind of discussion or a conversation between two individuals where one tries to find out if the other person will be able to fit well in the job offered and what value he will add to the organization. And the interviewee tries to find out if the position is good enough for him and in alignment with his aspirations and values. Now, how conversational your interview is will depend upon your research in 4 areas. Now, first research you need to do is on yourself. What you need to do is you need to go through your documents, your qualification documents, make a list of relevant qualifications, your relevant skills, values, interests, strengths and weaknesses. Write down any special certificates that you have, and for each item that you've mentioned in the list especially in terms of your skills and strengths, make sure you have instances to support your claim to those skills and strengths. The next research you need to do is of the job. You need to find out the requirements of the job, what functions and steps are carried out in the job, the duties, responsibilities and role of the job holder, then what skills are required to perform the job. Another research you need to do is of the company, that means of the employer. So you need to find out the history of the company, its headquarters, who is its CEO, what product or services it offers, what is its market share, and its competitors, substitutes, the price of its stock. So find out all such details. And you should also research the industry. That means find out the other players in the industry, their policies and strategies of the government for the industry, the contribution of the industry in the economy. So find out all such details, research on them. This will help you to make your interview a kind of discussion or conversation. See, you will be asked two types of questions at the interview. One would be technical questions and the other would be general questions. Now, technical questions will be directly related to your job and they're asked to find out whether you know what to do in your job and how to do your job. Now, to answer these questions well, see, first thing you need to understand that you cannot know everything about everything, even if it is your own field, because had that been the case, you would have been the CEO and not come there for the interview. So it is absolutely fine to not know a few things here and there, but ideally you should be able to answer at least 60% of all the technical questions asked to you. Now, to be able to reach that level, you need to do some research, you need to have some knowledge and experience to answer such questions. Now, the research that I am talking about is the research that you will do of the job and the company. And this research will generally be done once you get a call for interview. You would generally do this research after that. As far as knowledge and experience is concerned, what you need to do is that right from the time you realize that this is the field I want to make my career in, start working towards it. Start learning more about it. Start developing a knowledge base about it. Keep reading. Read a lot about it, watch infotainment programs, talk to people who are working in the field, talk to the experts of the field. All these things will help you develop your knowledge base. At the same time, you can also take up a short-term internship somewhere in that field to get some hands-on experience. All these things together will help you to answer technical questions more confidently. In case if you do not know the answer to any of the technical questions, then you can request the interviewer to either rephrase the question for you or explain it to you. You can also accept politely that you do not know the answer and you can say that I'm sorry, I don't have much idea about it, but it seems quite important, so I'll definitely find out about it at the very first opportunity that I'll get. Now, you never know how the interviewers will take this response as, but you'll surely come across as a person who is ready to learn new things and accepts his weaknesses. Apart from technical questions, you also need to prepare and practice thoroughly some general or commonly asked questions. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions at interviews is, tell me about yourself. Now, to answer this question, you need to say around 5 to 6 points about yourself and make sure that you keep your response extremely professional and to the point, where you have to say out of those 5 to 6 points, you have to give your introduction and a summary of your skills, education, and experience. So one of the best answers that I have come across could be, I am an MBA from such and such college with specialization in human resource management, and during my course I did my internship in the HR department of so and so company, where I learned how to evaluate performance appraisal data, how to calculate psychological test results, and also the basics of conducting training and development programs. Now if you see that this answer includes your professional introduction and a summary of your qualifications, skills, and experience. Another very commonly asked question is, why do you want this job? Now, to answer this question, the research about the job and the company that you have done will come handy, and you have to tell them what motivates and appeals to you the most about this job. So you can say that it is the area of my interest and I want to make a career in the same field. Moreover, the reputation of the company is one factor that I really look up to, and it is known to provide good growth and development opportunities and also rewards hard work. Let us see some more commonly asked questions. Another commonly asked question is about your strengths and weaknesses. So when they ask you this question, what are your strengths and weaknesses, they want to know whether you know your strengths and do you acknowledge your weaknesses. Now, what are strengths? First, you need to understand this. Now, your strengths are those personality traits which help you to perform your job well, grow in your career, and help you to achieve your goals, your professional goals. And your weaknesses are again those personality traits which come in the way of your performing your job well, grow in your career, and in achievement of your goals. So to answer this question, make sure you tell them one or two strengths and weaknesses of yours. And please don't go on with a list of your strengths and weaknesses. Just mention one or two strengths, one or two weaknesses. And when you are telling them about your strengths, also narrate an instance where you displayed those strengths. So one example of this could be, like you can say that I'm reliable and a quick learner, and during my internship when I was assisting an executive in a project, the executive had to go on a leave due to some medical emergency, and the responsibility to fulfill his duties fell on my shoulders. I, with the help of my other team members, performed my duties well and completed the project successfully and on time. Now, when you're talking about your weaknesses, tell them what measures you are taking to overcome them. Now, your weaknesses could be like public speaking or written communication. So you can say that written communication is one of my weaknesses, but of late I have started reading a lot of formal letters and have also taken up a short-term course on written formal communication. Now, if you're asked, why should we hire you? You have to tell them about your interests, skills, strengths, experience, and qualification. So you can say that it is the area of my interest and expertise, and I possess relevant skills to perform my job well, which I have displayed in the past also, and I also have relevant experience and qualification to be hired for this post. Now you can reframe your answer according to your requirement. This is just an example of how you should be answering this question. And another very commonly asked question is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Now this is a very tricky question because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, what will happen later in the day today. How can we say what will happen 5 years from now? So the best answer that I could think of was that you can say that 5 years from now, I see myself as one of the most productive members of the organization who has contributed and is in the process of contributing immensely towards the growth of the organization. Now this answer is extremely professional, crisp, and genuine. Now here are some extra tips that you should be taking care of. You need to prepare all your documents well in advance and put them neatly in a folder so that you can carry them to the interview spot. And make sure you carry a few extra copies of your CVs. You should be carrying ideally around 5 to 6 copies of your CVs. And don't forget to carry simple things like pen and your passport size photographs. And during your interview, show your enthusiasm, show your interest in the job, show them how ready you are to join the job and that you will be performing well. But make sure you don't show your neediness of the job. Now some other tips are that you should reach the interview spot around half an hour to 15 minutes in advance so that you have time to announce yourself, you have time to understand the settings of the interview, And you can go to the restroom and see if your hair and clothes are all proper and in place. Then dress really well for the interview, invest in some good quality tasteful clothes, and do some research on the dress culture of the organization, and make sure you dress slightly better than the existing employees of the organization of the company you've applied for, so that when you go for the interview you stand out of the rest of the people over there. And the shoes that you wear should be absolutely clean. Dirty shoes should never be an excuse. There should not be any excuse for wearing dirty shoes, whether you have walked a dirt road or you have traveled by public transport or it has rained. Whatever is the case, dirty shoes should never be an excuse. Always carry a tissue with you, and the very first opportunity that you get, make sure you clean your shoes. Then do your hair properly in a professional manner, both girls and boys. This is an advice. And to the boys, for the facial hair, you should have either a clean trimmed beard or you should be clean shaven. A stubble or anything in between is not advisable. And girls, your hair should be neatly tied in a bun to give you a professional look, or at least it should be tied from front so that it does not fall on your face. And carry a journal, a business journal or a business magazine with you. You can also carry a journal of the same organization you've gone for the interview, so that if at all noticed from the camera, you should not be caught staring at your phone. You should look focused, interested, and committed. So you should be reading some kind of journal, and you don't have to pretend to read. You actually have to read it. Now, the last point that I want to say here is read. Now, read here means try to gain as much knowledge as possible about the field you want to make your career in. Read, learn, watch infotainment programs, talk to people who know about it, talk to the experts, watch the interviews. So try to gain as much knowledge as possible. Now, here is an example of female formal dressing, professional dressing. In this, you can see the girl wearing knee-length long shirt, a collared shirt, looking extremely professional, which is not at all tight-fitted, not body-hugging, straight-fit dress with 3/4 sleeves. And for the bottom, the model is wearing straight-fit ankle-length pants or trousers, you can say, and shoes should complement your clothes. When it comes to heels, avoid wearing any kind of heels. Maximum you can wear is a 1/2 inch heel to give a little elevation to your personality. And when you walk, your shoes shouldn't make any kind of sound. Okay, here are some more examples. If you notice the necklines are not deeper than the base of the neck. Now this is as per the current professional dressing trend. And the dresses are not body hugging, body fit. They are all straight fit dresses, and sleeves are 3/4 length. As far as men's dressing is concerned, it is pretty straightforward. You can wear a light colored full sleeve shirt with a dark colored trousers. The color of your shoes should match with your belt, which should preferably be black, and the color of your socks should match with your trousers. If you are wearing a tie, it should reach the middle of the buckle of your belt, and the width of the tie should be according to your body type. So if you are a narrow built person, wear a narrow width tie, and if you are a medium or broad built person, wear medium to broad width tie. It is advisable to both men and women to invest in some professional and tasteful clothes, which you keep especially for your interviews, unless you land your dream job. Coming to virtual interviews, now virtual interviews are also becoming very popular these days, and you need to follow all the guidelines that we discussed in the physical interviews. Apart from that, make sure that you test the equipment a day in advance. See to it that your camera, the microphone, Wi-Fi connection, everything is working well. Take care of how you dress. You have to dress even better than physical interviews, because the colors that you wear otherwise look different on camera. So you need to wear slightly brighter colors. Take care of the patterns that you're wearing. They should complement your colors, complement the background. You can wear some makeup to look a little photogenic. The makeup should be minimum just to highlight your features. Take care of the lights in the room so that your face is absolutely completely visible on the camera to the interviewers. And take care of the background, that it is neat and clean and not causing any kind of distraction. And you also need to maintain an eye contact. Now to do that, you need to look into the camera rather than the screen, because it's a general tendency that you look at the screen while talking to a person in a virtual interview. So take care of that. At the end of the interview, no matter how your interview has gone, whether you've been able to answer maximum questions or not, make sure you always leave with a positive closing statement. So you can say that thank you everyone, and I really look forward to work in this organization. May I take your leave? And with that, with a small nod, you can actually take a leave. And do not forget to send a thank you note the next day of the interview, because the interviewers have gone through your resume, shortlisted you, called you for the interview, and actually interviewed you. So for all the pains that they have taken, you should thank them that they shortlisted you and interviewed you. And all these things will send a very positive sign about you, will talk volumes about your personality, about your etiquette and manners, and your enthusiasm to work. So you never know, you may get a call the next day. I hope you learned something interesting in today's video, and you can read my blog on commonly asked questions, where I've given sample answers for each question from a fresher's point of view as well as from experienced person's point of view. The link is given in the description box. Until next time, keep improving.